What up, what up? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow patrons, fans, and every single member of the True Heel Nation. This is your good brother, Jane News, with another edition of Jane News Japan, talking to you today about the New Beginning in Nagoya, which took place on January 30th, 2021, and also the show for Lions Break Contender, which aired on Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on NewJapanWorld.com. Let's do New Beginning in Nagoya first. Match number 1 took place at the Aichi Prefectural Gymnasium, Dolphins Arena, in Nagoya. Attendance was 2,156. Looked like a good crowd. Just sitting here watching it on TV. First match of the night. Chaos members Toru Yano, Kazuchika Okada went up against Bullet Club members Yujiro Takahashi and Evil. 7 minutes and 40 seconds worth of more building here between Evil and Okada. Even though they were barely in the ring together, there was still more animosity brewing between the two of them. Toru Yano finally had a match during this New Beginning tour. Toru Yano doing his basic and regular shtick, taking the one of the white corners off, and subsequently he was the one who was ran into one of those during the match here. But short match, like I said, 7 minutes and 40 seconds. After the low blow, Toru Yano rolled up Yujiro Takahashi for the win in this match. Hopefully we get some sort of a special singles match. If not, like I was stating before, we'll probably get Evil and Kazuchika Okada early on in the New Japan Cup. So look forward to that. Second match of the night, 8-man tag. We have Master Wato, Sho, Tomoaki Hanma, and Kota Ibushi, the double champion god himself, going up against members of Los Ingobernables de Japón, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Tetsuya Naito, and Sanada. 11 minutes and 32 seconds. This match, to say the least, we've got this brewing feud with Naito and Hanma for whatever reason here. I myself figure this to be a step down for Tetsuya Naito, but obviously creative's got nothing for him after losing the double straps. Sanada and Ibushi still trading words and pleasantries throughout the match, and throughout their interactions on the outside part of the ring. Sho and Hiromu going at each other as hard as possible. Master Wato and Bushi in this match particular wasn't anything too fierce or too strong to notice, but we do know they have a singles match coming up on February 10th. That is some sort of like a special singles match. Probably going to vie for a future shot at Hiromu Takahashi and that IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Nothing of specific note to mention here in the match. Solid match. Like I stated before, Hiromu and Sho went at each other. Everybody had their individual spots for their current storylines that were standing. The win came via the shock arrow when Sho hit that on Bushi, as the team of Master Wato, Sho, Hanma, and Ibushi wins this match. After the match was over and the bell had rung, more words were being exchanged between Kota Ibushi and Tetsuya Naito. Hiromu Takahashi and Sho were basically standoffish to one another, and Bushi and Master Wato are still fitting to get it in. So, the main event matches that let out the rest of the night, or the more poignant matches that let out the rest of the night. Third match here, Hiroshi Tenzan versus the Great Okan. This was a stipulation match in which the winner of the match was now the king of the Mongolian chop, and the loser of this match will no longer be able to use the Mongolian chop. Hiroshi Tenzan in this match, probably the most fierce and aggressive I have seen him in a very, very, very long time. To say the least, I thought he had the majority of the control in this match versus Great Okan. But to no avail. The Great Okan, the younger, more spry, energetic, and I guess you can say powerful of the two men in this match. After 12 minutes and 45 seconds, the Great Okan was able to use the Eliminator, choke slam, palm choke slam maneuver that he does as a finisher, to get the win over Hiroshi Tenzan. Specific spot that I would want to mention during the match was the Mongolian chop off between the two. That lasted for about a good minute or so, where they were both Mongolian chopping each other to death. And eventually, if I'm not mistaken, the Great Okan did end up getting the better of that exchange. And Tenzan looked as good as he could look at his age and at his speed. Had Great Okan grounded for the majority of the parts in this match. Wasn't letting him get off any of that high impact offense that Great Okan tends to want to try to show, to say the least. But like I said before, eventually the Great Okan's endurance and power through his Mongolian chops were able to subdue the great Hiroshi Tenzan, and 1/3 of those United Empire boys was able to win that match. We had the break for the stoppage and the cleaning of the ring, the disinfecting of the ring. Fourth match of the night came about. We had Satoshi Kojima versus Will Ospreay of the United Empire, the leader. They gave him a nickname. I forget what it is right now. The Commonwealth Kingpin. There you go. That's what they call Will Ospreay now. Versus Koji here. This was a This is a no DQ match between Ospreay and Kojima. There were weapons spread out on the rampway towards the ring and around the ring. Weapons were used during this match. Obviously, Will Ospreay was one that was taking bumps, so I was surprised that Kojima took the bumps that he did here. At one point during the match, there was one of the New Japan tables, not one of the tables that we're used to seeing in U.S.-based wrestling. The New Japan tables are a little bit thicker and more narrow. It was propped up against one of the turnbuckle corners by Will Ospreay. And Ospreay, should I say, Kojima propped that table up in the corner. Will Ospreay was able to powerbomb Satoshi Kojima through that table. That table completely exploded off of that move there. Will Ospreay, I believe, as well, was able to use a cookie pan to the head on Kojima. Lots of just brutal brawling throughout the match. I think the singular signature Will Ospreay move that I saw here outside of the finish was his handspring, that like 180 kick that he does off of a handspring onto Kojima. Everything else was just basic brutal forearms to the clavicle and neck area, punches, kicks, and things of that nature throughout the match. It was a street fight / hardcore match, just not to that nth degree of what Japanese hardcore is. There was also a spot during the match that Will Ospreay took, where Will Ospreay was one that took out a ladder in order to use it as a weapon during the match, but yet to no avail. The ladder was used against Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay took a bump through the middle of that ladder on his back, which I thought to myself, Will Ospreay's got to be nuts to be taking these bumps. He is too valuable to New Japan Pro Wrestling to be doing that sort of stuff. But this match, I'm not going to say it was the greatest match ever, obviously not, but this match brought way more than I expected it to bring. And I wanted just to make sure to let you guys know, not a match of the year caliber match at all, but this is something you guys should watch, because Koji's damn near 50, or if not 50 already, and Will, obviously in the prime of his career, did perform one hell of a no DQ match here. 16 minutes 57 seconds to end the match Will Ospreay was able to hit the Stormbreaker on Satoshi Kojima after a blasted headshot with a chair. And the leader of those United Empire boys was able to pick up the win. Then the fifth match of the night. Shout outs to the True Heel Heat Instagram page. This particular match's result was spoiled for me because I I decided to go online and just go through my feed real quick this morning. And first up on my feed was the True Heel Heat post about another great New Japan Pro Wrestling match that took place yesterday, because today is Sunday. I watched the show a day later. Shingo Takagi versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. 35 minutes, 40 seconds. Y'all, like, I don't understand why it is that people have this sense or this feel where storytelling wrestling, right, has to be a certain way, right? Like, there has to be a lot more talking, a lot more innuendo in the match, a lot more visceral and facial reactions and stuff like that and whatnot to drag you in emotionally. The way New Japan Pro Wrestling does their form of storytelling through the physicality in the matches is second to none. And this match, yet again, another match within the first month of the year that clearly shows how storytelling can be done in ring wise without it having to be some sort of a soap opera. Terrific selling from Shingo Takagi, terrific selling from Hiroshi Tanahashi. These two gentlemen basically embarked on a mission to decommission each other's knees in this match and take each other's knees out. And they were both hobbled throughout the match. They both attempted different types of submission maneuvers on one another. At one point during the match, Tana had Takagi in the cloverleaf submission, where it seemed like Takagi had not tapped out, but he got knocked out because of the way that Takagi's neck was bent, and it seemed like he had great call by Kevin Kelly there during commentary, where it seems like he was bent on the carotid artery, where it seemed like the blood flow had stopped to Takagi's head, and he seemed like he was knocked out. But the match did continue. The match was not stopped. Red Shoes let the match continue and go on because eventually Tanahashi let go of the maneuver and Takagi was able to make a brief comeback throughout the match. One hell of a back and forth, a war, a real, true war of attrition between two of the best in New Japan Pro Wrestling today. But the outcome, the result of the match, not to say that the result of the match wasn't warranted. Tanahashi is still well respected and well liked, and he is still the ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling. He won this match with the high fly flow to win his first never Openweight championship against Shingo Takagi. I'm just, preferably, me speaking for myself, I'm just not a fan of playing hot potato with any championship. And Takagi just won the championship back from Minoru Suzuki, and I understand that's really what they do with the never Openweight championship, but at the same time, Takagi wanted to take it to another level, and I think that in this instance, the belt was brought to another level, obviously, with this particular caliber of a match with the ace, but I think if Takagi would have walked away with the win, it would have been something much more, I don't know if you can say valuable, but I guess you can say tangible for the future of the Never Openweight Championship. Not to say that Tanahashi takes anything away from the Never Openweight Championship, absolutely not. But being that Shingo's been that in-ring MVP for the company for the last year and a half to 2 years running, I think that would have been a better look. But I'm not unhappy here. It was a terrific match. Another match of the year contender early on, and it is January 31st, 2021. We barely scratched the surface on 2021. Terrific match between Takagi and Tanahashi. after the match was over and the bell had rung, Takagi showing his grand graciousness and respect for Tanahashi, and just showing that reverence to the ace, as anyone should after a match of that caliber and that time length. And Tanahashi celebrated by playing his air guitar for the fans in attendance on his new Never Openweight Championship. And that is the New Beginning show from Nagoya on January 30th, 2021. Folks, due to my schedule, I wanted to say this now. Due to my personal work schedule and things of that nature and whatnot, I will be covering the shows that just have the more high-profile matches for New Beginning. So that means that you'll probably see me cover the show from February 10th, which will have Wato versus Ibushi, and then the heavyweight tag team championship match, which is the Gorillas of Destiny versus the Dangerous Techers. That'll happen on February 10th. And you'll also see me cover the show for February 11th, which is going to have, the main event being Sonata versus Kota Ibushi. Because those are the two more important shows. If I'm able to find time to cram in all the other house shows in between, which is just really a mess of tag matches between all the different factions, I'll make sure to try my best to cover them. But for concrete reasons, for valid reasons, my work schedule is just getting a little bit later. As of right now, I will be covering February 10th and February 11th for sure. All the other house shows before then, don't expect me to post a video for those particular shows. Just want to let you guys know that ahead of time. To go on to the road to Lions Break Contender, which aired on January 29th, 2021. I'll say this: overall, all the matches on the card were very, very solid, very, very well structured, and I was entertained. Match number one, the captain, Clark Connors, the Young Lion versus the newest Young Lion, the DKC. 7 minutes and 22 seconds. This match was all over the mat. Clark Connors was trying to basically impose his will and his ferociousness on the DKC, but the DKC did not back down at all whatsoever. Young Lion or not, the DKC is not going to take anybody's guff. And Clark Connors learned that the hard way, because the DKC was picking at that arm and he was trying to make him submit with the cross arm breaker. But to no avail. Clark Connors was able to hit a spear at one particular moment during this match, take the air out of the DKC and then put him in that Boston Crab only, like Clark Connors likes to do, and he was able to tap out the DKC. Clark Connors, the cap with the chip on his shoulder, won this match after 7 minutes and 22 seconds. Second match of the night, the Dirty Daddy, Chris Dickinson, went up against the one and only Rocky Romero, the king of sneaky style. 9 minutes and 53 seconds. This match was technically one of the matches that I was looking forward to, because Chris Dickinson is facing a whole bunch of guys he's never faced before, and I want to see how he can hang against all these different New Japan guys. And Rocky Romero definitely gave the Dirty Daddy a very, very good one-on-one matchup here. 9 minutes and 53 seconds. It was a lot of exchanges, a lot of reversals, a lot of attempts with different submissions between Rocky Romero and Chris Dickinson, but to no avail, unfortunately, for the king of sneaky style. Chris Dickinson was able to lock in the STF to tap out Rocky Romero and gain his first win in New Japan Pro Wrestling. The Dirty Daddy did cut a hell of a promo after the bell had sounded. When he walked to the back, he cut a promo basically saying how he's fought and he's clawed his way to get to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that he's nobody's pushover, and that he's there basically to prove himself and to prove that he belongs there, not just because he wants to be there and that he needs to be there, but because, he is their Dirty Daddy. And then the third match of the night, we've got Six-man tag action. We had Lio Rush, TJP, and Fred Rosser going up against members of the Bullet Club, Hikuleo, El Phantasmo, and Kenta. The match itself lasted 11 minutes and 54 seconds. Good interaction between everybody here. Future matchups between Lio Rush and El Phantasmo will be happening. TJP will be having his a future matchup sometime soon, if I'm not mistaken, in the new tour, which is going to be the New Beginning in the USA 21 tour that will be beginning next week. And Fred Rosser seems to be steam rolling himself ahead to be in some sort of a beef with Hikuleo here. Not to say that the match was sloppy, but it was everywhere. There wasn't necessarily much cohesion, but everybody did get their shit in, to say the least. Like I said, 11 minutes, 54 seconds. Lio Rush got the roll-up on El Phantasmo to get the win. Eventually, after the bell had rung, the Bullet Club members continued to attack the babyface team. That happened for like about, 5 to 7 seconds. The lights go out. It is pitch black in the arena. And then all that is left after the lights go out. All three members of the Bullet Club in the ring, and the one and only IWGP US Heavyweight Champion himself, the Death Rider, Jon Moxley, appears for the first time in over a year on New Japan Pro Wrestling. He clears the ring of Hikuleo and El Phantasmo by knocking them out with the US Heavyweight Championship, and then him and Kenta go at each other for a spell, and then Kenta tries to hit the GTS on Moxley. Moxley wiggles out, and he's able to hit the Death Rider on Kenta and leaves Kenta laying on the mat. Jon Moxley then cuts a quick promo, basically saying, "Y'all must have forgot," to everybody in the New Japan Pro Wrestling fandom. Basically just saying, you guys thought I was never going to come back, but I came back, and I'm here to settle the score. Kenta, anytime, anywhere, any place, we'll make this happen, because it's about that time for me to whip that ass. So to go off of that and to feed into that particular match, the long-awaited U.S. Heavyweight Championship match has now been made for New Beginning in the USA. This will be taking place on Friday, February 26th. This will air as the main event of that New Japan Strong episode on the 26th of February. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NewJapanWorld.com. So look forward to that particular match. There will also be other big matches that will be going down during the New Beginning in USA tour. Next week's main event on New Japan Strong, the New Beginning in USA tour, it'll be TJP versus Rey Ors. The week after that, there'll be a tag team main event that's going to have Danny Limelight and Chris Dickinson of Team Filthy go up against TJP and Gran Narita. And then on the February 19th, we'll have the one-on-one matchup between Lio Rush and El Phantasmo. That'll be the main event for that particular show on the 19th of February. But to give you the roundup for the rest of the matches that'll be taking place on next week's show, I already gave you guys the main event, which is going to be TJP versus Rey Ors of ROH. The first match of the night will be Kevin Knight, aka Jet Knight, versus the DKC. That'll be the Young Lions match. Then we'll have an 8-man tag match, which will have Bateman, Misterioso, Adrian Quest, and Jordan Clearwater go up against Brody King, Barrett Brown, and the Regal Twins, Logan and Sterling. And obviously the main event that I had previously mentioned with TJP and Rey Ors. And then to go forward, tomorrow night, February 1st, will be night 9 of the Road to New Beginning tour. Just to give you guys the rundown as to what's happening, the returning young lion who hasn't been a part of the New Beginning tour at all, Gabriel Kidd, will have a one-on-one matchup versus Yota Tsuji. We'll then have an 8-man tag that'll have Kota Ibushi, Hanma Sho, and Master Wato go up against Los Ingobernables de Japón, Sanada, Tetsuya Naito, Takahashi, and Bushi. We will then have a 6-man tag, which will have Kazuchika Okada, Toru Yano, and Tomohiro Ishii tag against members of the Bullet Club, Evil, Yujiro Takahashi, and Dick Togo. And then the main event is going to be a big-time 10-man elimination tag team match. It will see members of Suzuki-gun, Doki, El Desperado, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, the Dangerous Tekkers themselves, Tai Chi, and Zack Sabre Jr. go up against members of the Bullet Club, the A-Team, should I say. The GOD, the Gorillas of Destiny, ain't nobody realer than Gorillas. You also have Jado, El Phantasmo, and Taiji Ishimori, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, involved in this 10-man elimination tag team warfare match. That'll be on February 1st, live on NewJapanWorld.com. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is all the news from New Japan from the weekend, with the roundup, what's going to be happening in the future for the next week or so, and the month of February to come, at least with New Japan Strong. If there's any more news to come, if there's any more updates that I can give you guys, I definitely will try my best to get on here and keep you guys updated. As always, thank you very much for watching. Be good to one another. Stay safe out there. And take care of yourselves, y'all. Always remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. This has been your good brother Jay News. I'm about this. I'll see you on the flip, folks. Take it easy. Peace.